Hello, my name is Chris Goddard, and I'm doing this for my online Lebec Community College class, Fundamentals of Speech. Today, I'm going to be telling you how to catch big bass because that's a really passionate hobby of mine, and I'm an avid fisherman. So I hope to convey that knowledge that I have and love for it to you guys today. First, I'm going to talk about the benefits of fishing. I don't know if any of you have experienced fishing, but it's such a great way to get out into nature and to have such a peaceful time with yourself or with friends and family. It's anything you can do with yourself. I mean, it's just this feeling of being alone on the water. Nothing matches it, and I just love it so much. And whenever you catch a massive bass, the adrenaline that pumps through your veins when you reel it in, it's just crazy, and I love it so much. So before you get started on actually fishing, you have to have some things first, your supplies. The most important part being, of course, the fishing pole. So right here I have just an open face fishing pole. That's one of my favorite kinds to use. You can pick these up at a sporting goods store like Walmart or Academy, and you can spend anywhere on a fishing pole from $10 to $500. It just depends. But for a beginner, I would recommend, a $15, $20 pole to test out the waters. So this probably a $50 pole, I would guess. I got it for Christmas, so I'm not really sure, but that's one of my favorites. And then you also need your lures. I have a few. This is a spinner, and as it goes through the water, this little spoon here catches light. Fish like light, so that's one of my favorite right there. They run about $3 to $5 at Academy or somewhere like that. And then this buddy right here is a crankbait. As it goes through the water, that bill on the front catches and it vibrates side to side, and that motion in the water attracts the fish. And then there's the Old Faithful plastic worm. This is always my fallback. If all else fails, you can get a package of these for like $3 at Academy, and you can never go wrong. And then I keep all this in my tackle bag here. These, you can spend, the margins on fishing are crazy. You can get a tackle bag for $5, you can get one for $500. It just depends on how avid of a fisherman or woman that you are. So, once you have all of your equipment, I also have a scale in here to measure and weigh, because I like, hey, I caught a 5-pound bass this weekend. It's pretty fun. So if you are into that, you can pick one of those up as well. And I also have topwater frogs. I don't have any with me today, but they bounce across the water as you use them. So once you have all your supplies, now it's time to find your waters of choice. Just like real estate, the 3 most important things of fishing are location, location, and location. What I look for in a pond is a mossy area or some that has a little shade with trees, because the fish like to lurk beneath that shade and whenever it's real hot. And if you can't find any of those, you can fish anywhere, but that's just my favorite places. And then a lot of people around here fish in the local pits. I'm not much of a strip pit fisher, so I don't know much about that. So what I'm going to be talking to you today is mainly geared towards ponds. So once you've found your fishing hole and you have all your supplies, it's time to find out what the fish are into, and that's the hardest part. So as I just showed you all these lures, I'm going to explain kind of which ones to use at the right times. So when you find a really mossy place, you don't want anything with an exposed hook. Like this buddy, the spinner, they have exposed hooks, and the crankbaits, they have exposed treble hooks. Not so great for moss. So I always use the plastic worms whenever it's really mossy, because whenever you put them on the hook is not exposed. The hook goes into the worm. That way they just glide through and moss doesn't catch up on them. Also, the topwater frogs are good because they bounce across the top of lilies. So if you cast right along the lilies, they'll come up and hit pretty hard on them. So now that you know what lures to use in the right situations, but the spinners, They are good to use in the sunny day because they catch a lot of sunlight, and if
Please
it's real
release
windy,
add high school students to the commons area.
if it's real windy, you want to fish deeper and use these or the crankbaits. Nothing top water. So, once you're there, you think you know what the fish are gonna get. Bite. It's time to get your fishing pole, and there's several ways to tie knots. I'm not gonna really go into that today. But to cast an open-faced reel, you're gonna hook the string right here, like so. I'm gonna move a little bit closer to the camera. You hook the string, open the bell, and then as you throw down towards the water, you're gonna release the string, which allows it to spool out. You know, that's one of the hardest aspects of fishing because many new fishermen tend to catch more trees than they do fish. So once you've mastered that skill, you're pretty much good to go. So now you guys know how to fish. You know what you need, you know what you need to use. So I challenge you guys to go out, find your waters of choice, and catch some big bass. Thanks for listening today, guys.